Welcome to the Manhattan Project, where we kill ourselves. So, do we take any vlogs of us going to see Flatliners, John?
I was hoping you would have something sick, Evan.
No, we did not. But suffice to say, we went to go see Flatliners at our regular place, Regal Union Square. It happened. It's the movie about those med students who try to kill themselves and then come back to life. And to see what that's about, just watch the trailer.
Clear!
It was pure energy.
Next.
I was all powerful.
I'm going next.
Don't stay in too long.
Flatliners.
Believe it or not, my expectations for this movie were not that it was going to be very good. The trailer wasn't awful, but just the complete lack of press screenings for it, the fact that it wasn't even released on Thursday night, all those things pointed to the studio having zero confidence in it. No confidence. Flatliners is a dull, one-note sci-fi horror movie that squanders 15 minutes of good setup with completely zero good ideas and payoff. As I mentioned in the Devil's Advocate's review, if you caught that, the beginning of Flatliners is pretty solid. It moves at a quick pace, and I really liked some of the just basic setup ideas it had. The fact that these 5 med students, they're at the end of the med school career, they're about to become doctors, so it means that they have some history with each other. We get, all of their various motivations of why they might want to kill themselves. They want to, figure out what happened to a dead family member. They think that once you flatline to come back because it makes your brain smarter, that's will help them succeed in life. It's like a drug for them. They're competitive, whatever. There's a whole bunch of reasons. None of the reasons are explained to a really high degree. It's all pretty shallow, but I accepted it because the movie was just moving fast. And the first flatlining scene was pretty damn well done. I liked the way that it built and that we got into the experience. After that, though, the movie just completely loses its footing. It doesn't know what to say about the fact that they flatline and then come back and are like better people, like their brains are better. It can't really decide exactly what the rules are with that or find any interesting sequences that involve them showing off their new superpowers. You would expect that would be a larger part of the movie, that they would use that not just to test themselves, but also once the horror stuff happens, you think that would help them defeat it, right? You think I have now superpowers. Maybe I can use that to defeat this evil darkness that has been unlocked from the other side. But no, that's not really the case. It just kind of happens to them, and then the movie progresses, and it just becomes about discovering, if it's even mysterious at all, what things these people are guilty about. And you're not really sure how mysterious it's supposed to be, because it's pretty obvious from the imagery early on what they've done. You just are waiting for them to say it. And there's not much emotional catharsis when they do finally admit whatever wrong that they did. Another issue regarding all this is that because it takes a long time, it's meant to be important, it takes a long time for these characters to come together and admit that they are being haunted and what they think they're being haunted by and what that could mean for themselves. The movie does a poor job at defining the exact nature, of their haunting and the stakes. There are deaths in this movie and violence and stuff of that nature, so that suggests it's very much like a ghost haunting scenario, or it's like a demon that came through from the other side. But other stuff in the movie just makes it seem like, it's really just like a personal thing. Like they're kind of doing it to themselves in their own head. They've messed themselves up. If they can straighten out their own guilt, then all will be okay. And those ideas are kind of different. And I don't think it's meant to be a twist that is in fact one way or the other. It's just kind of wishy-washy until the film decides that it needs to solve things, which it doesn't do a very good job of doing, because like I said, it doesn't fulfill any of the things that it potentially set up and didn't really set up that much in the first place. I think that's the real problem with Flatliners is it gets you going right away real quick, and you're excited to see just what the movie could be about, and then just treads water, a lot of water, until it ends. Yeah, I don't have that much to say about Flatliners. I didn't hate it, if only because of the pacing and the fact that it didn't have any glaringly huge, I don't know, editing mistakes or something. John noticed that the aspect ratio shifts twice, once at the beginning of the movie, once at the end. That is an interesting mistake that seems to have zero consequence to the movie. So I can't say it seems like they cut out any big plot lines that were interesting to me or out of the back in. It just kind of happens. that's that.
There's more than 15 minutes of good stuff. It's pretty much how the trailer is, where like once that weird song comes in the trailer, all of a sudden it gets bad.
Okay, true. So it's not even 15 minutes. I guess it's more than that. I guess just the movie's second half really disappointed me. As far as stuff that was potentially set up, there is some interesting ideas there regarding the whole allegory. There's a lot of movies that it's about we tested science and the universe is punishing us for meddling in the unknown. And the fact that this is specifically med students who really got to prove themselves, who are really arrogant and competitive as the ones perpetrating this, I think is interesting. The fact that they have all this guilt to deal with is interesting. It just doesn't quite cohere into something, it's sort of like is it Frankenstein's monster scenario, I guess. They create their own monster. I don't know. But John's right. 15 minutes is a little bit ungrateful to the movie. It's got a little bit more in it than that. It's, once again, not a 0%. The 0% thing is weird to me. I can't believe that no random guy out there was like, or gal out there was like, yeah, you know what, I'll give it a 3 out of 4, give it a 2 out of 4, whatever it takes to get a fresh review on Rotten Tomatoes. I think just because the fact that it is a remake or reboot or sequel or some thing is a big turnoff to people. It's such an example of a useless movie that doesn't need to exist. So because there's not enough to redeem about it, there's no reason for people to praise it.
If there was no such thing as Flatliners, the original movie, and you had not seen the trailer, if there was no context whatsoever to seeing this film and you stepped in, the first 25 to 35 minutes would be phenomenal. You'd think this is one of the most tense, exciting, well-paced, decently acted genre pictures all year. It's just smart the way it's doing things. You feel nervous. You don't know exactly where it's going. If you didn't know there was going to be supernatural shit, it would just be like a really intense drama of like, it's a genre movie, it's horrific, but you don't know exactly why. You think they're just going to kill each other or whatever. But since you can't go into the movie clean, that's why it has a 0%. And also because the third act is fucking awful.
Wise words from John. Anyway, we are the Manhattan Project. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back reviewing new movies all the time because that's what we do.